Anime World Tower Defense. I want to keep saying Simulator, but I've got Ethereal here with me today. Hello, Ethereal.
Hello.
And we're going to try to make a tier list. Now, before you guys say anything, we are going to admit that we don't have every single character in the game, okay? And we don't know 100% about every single one of their damage, but we wanted to get like a little tier list out so you can understand which units you should currently be trying to go for from what we know specifically from day one. Since it is day one of release today, it's only been like, what, 4, 5, 6 hours since the game has been out? So that's how long we've been playing. So this tier list is not going to be 100% accurate, but it is going to be like 60-70% accurate. Alrighty? Sounds good? Okay. Alrighty. So I feel like we should start with the commons first. What do you think?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So the way that the game works is the first 5 rooms 1 through 5, you can only use common units. So that goes from these units right here all the way up to this guy right there. So only those units can be used in the first 5 stages. So judging by that, we'll make this quick little tier list just based on like the stages. So like the first 5 stages, the next stages, and whatever. Right off the bat, we got Deku right here. Where would you rate him?
For the first 5, at
Yes.
least, he's pretty strong for what he's costs like 250. You can place 2 as soon as the match starts. I'd put him at around C.
Put him at a C tier?
I'd put him at about a C tier.
Okay. So the question is, are we going to do it like C
Do you
tier?
want to? Yeah, I'd say he's about C tier.
Because I was going to say he's A tier for the first 5 stages. Okay,
If
yeah. So here, we'll do it overall.
Yeah.
For the first 5 stages, Deku will be A tier. But overall, he is C tier. Now, as Ethereal was saying, he only costs 250 and he does a good amount of damage. So you can place 2 units right off the bat, making him very useful, which is why he belongs in the C tier. Next one is Vegeta here. Vegeta and Goku are both interchangeable units that you can only place on top of high ground, such as like mountains and buildings and stuff like that. I do have to say that Goku is weaker than Vegeta, but Goku attacks faster than Vegeta, which makes him stronger than Vegeta. So in terms of like overall ranking, Goku would actually probably rank in the C tier as well, and Vegeta would rank in D. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
Although Vegeta does more damage, he's more expensive to upgrade, and like I said, he attacks slower. So Goku ultimately is going to be better than Vegeta. We've got Sanji here. Unfortunately, most of these common units, including Sanji, are not going to be very good, because all they're going to be useful for is like the first 5 stages. So Sanji,
Yeah.
D tier. This one, Yuji. I really want to put Yuji in C tier because he costs 300 and he
does
attacks
really
pretty
strong.
quickly, and he has
Yeah,
that circle attack.
Yeah, his cone is actually a decent size. He does a lot of damage.
Now,
The
the only reason I think he might deserve to be first on D tier is because we have all these other units who are going to go C tier. But he is definitely the best weak D tier unit, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, he really carried at least the first 10 stages.
Unfortunately, Deku is just stronger than Yuji, which is why Deku will go in C tier and Yuji will go in D. Kind of like Goku and Vegeta, they're 2 similar units like that. It's just that, yeah, Yuji unfortunately just isn't as good. Ichigo and Luffy. Luffy, they did you wrong. I'm sorry, but Luffy's just bad. So
They
bad.
did terribly wrong.
And then Ichigo, same thing. I'd say he's better than Zoro and Luffy, but not better than Vegeta and Yuji.
Yeah, that's accurate.
I'm just going to put Sanji down here as well. I don't know where Sanji goes, to be honest with you guys, because I didn't test him out, but I'm going to say somewhere around there, just because he is just a common unit. Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke. I think you guys are going to be shocked by this one. The only reason I'm going to put Sakura in C tier is because Sakura can evolve into a stronger unit. And she has like this big AoE attack that does a good amount of damage. Although Naruto has a good like attack, he's not as strong as Sakura. And Sasuke, unfortunately, doesn't have anything special about him, so they're also going to go to D tier as well. What do you think of that?
Yeah, for common units, yeah, that's accurate.
So there's your common units. Basically, what you're going to want are these top 3 right here, and you're only going to want to use these 3, and then Yuji as well, of course, if you guys don't have Deku or something like that. So Yuji or Deku are interchangeable, Goku and Vegeta interchangeable, and then Sakura is just decently good. So these are the first 5 rooms, these are the common units, and this is where they'll rank overall. Next, we got the next like 10 rooms. You're allowed to use the rare units, so it includes all these blue units right here. Who do you want to start with?
I'd say we get Todoroki out of the way.
Todoroki, I agree. Todoroki, I think, is probably...
He's probably the best.
Probably the best, if not the like second or third best unit out of all the rare units. And you guys are probably going to be shocked when I do this. As a rare unit, Todoroki is going to go into the A tier. Explain why.
He can freeze and stun enemies, and that is very big. And it lasts about, what, 3 seconds? 2 seconds?
About 3 seconds of freezing enemies, and then at the same time, although he's a little more expensive, he also does as much damage as every single one of these other units in the rares, which makes him so much better than any of these other rare units. So that is why Todoroki deserves to be A rank. Beastman. Sorry. He's just a standard. He's just a standard unit.
He's kind of dog water.
No other words to describe it. Nobara, standard unit. She's good.
I'd say put her behind Goku.
Behind Goku, yeah. Honestly, her damage is good, but no, behind Goku. You're right. Now, this one is gonna shock all of you. This is a rare unit, and he's actually gonna be D tier. Like, worse than Luffy.
So bad.
The only reason he's currently D tier is because he sucks, guys. Right now, this unit is awful. He does have an advanced, like, where you can evolve him, but it's gonna take time until you guys get stuff to finally evolve your units. So that is why he is D tier. He's just bad. And I'm gonna say this as well. I'm sorry. You can go, like, up here, but you also suck. They did Tokyo go wrong.
Yeah, they did him horrendously in this game.
Mob Psycho.
Okay. Mob has... he has a full AoE attack, but it's kind of more on the weaker side.
And it's more expensive.
It's more expensive, but the damage is kind of lacking for its price. Like, I'd say Mob's C tier, but like way at the back.
So like, not way in the back. I'd say he's definitely better than Goku in terms of strength, so like around there. What do you think?
He's stronger than Deku.
He's stronger than Deku?
Yeah,
but Deku's cheaper.
Well, the thing is, the damage between the two is pretty drastic. I think Mob does
1,400.
Yeah, like
and
1,400.
Then maxed out Deku does like 7.
Yeah, so either way, like,
so they're like interchangeable. These two are like interchangeable in this slot. Just to make it look more interesting, I want to put Deku above him though. Okay, next we got the 2 Kiritos. Yeah, not much to say about them. Like, if we're going by like the type, Kirito's purple, he's fine. He goes like over here, right? Kirito purple, Kirito green also goes there. Now the reason that these two are gonna go here is because the purple and the green units, there's actually 2 units on this rare list here that are purple and green that are actually really good. The one that is only purple is Asta, B tier. Explain why.
Asta does an absurd amount of damage on top of the fact that his attack, what do I want to call it, style pattern. He attacks in a circle, and it maxed out. He actually does really big damage.
Huge damage.
huge in a circle. I don't know. I don't want to say AoE. It's not full AoE, but it's AoE.
It's like a ground slam AoE, which is really strong. And alongside Asta, actually, Naruto is going to go up there as well. Naruto just deals the most damage out of every single rare unit at its base. He is more expensive to level up, but once you are able to level him up, Naruto goes insane.
Agreed.
Okay. These two units right here, Nezuko and Sasuke. If you're trying to beat stage 15, you need Sasuke or Nezuko. It doesn't matter which one, preferably Sasuke, but you need Sasuke and Nezuko if you are trying to beat stage 15. Now, other than that, their use is kind of like whatever, which is why I feel like they both belong here in this order.
And if anyone's wondering, well, why do you need them? It's because they both do burn/bleed damage. So, in one of the bosses, it's required. That's what you need to kill him.
Correct. So, without having a burn bleed damage for stage 15, you won't be able to beat the stage. We tried multiple times until we finally, someone told us, and we're like, oh, would have been nice to know. Alright, last two rare units that we have are Yuno and Krillin. Yuno and Krillin.
I'd say Krillin's one of the better ones because of the stun.
Right.
The mini stun that Krillin has.
So Krillin does like a flash, whatever it's called, the
Kaioken
flash attack, and he stuns people. So it's not a very long stun, and it's not like Todoroki where it stuns multiple, but it's definitely good enough to put him in B tier. And then Yuno, I would say Yuno's probably the best rare unit that isn't B tier up. Both these units sit on top of buildings, so they're kind of like the Goku Vegeta units, but better.
Now this is where things, and like you said, the tier list will be updated. So.
Alright, so this is, so this part right here, this rare, or SR part, it gets a little bit more difficult to do this. We didn't actually get to test out every single one of these units to their max potential, but we can say some units are better than others. We're going to go ahead and start with that one unit that's better than others. That is Bulma. Like every other game that has a tower defense and includes anime, Bulma is your money unit, guys. She makes so much money, especially for Infinite Trial. If you're going to do the Infinite Trial node, you need a Bulma on your team.
And she's available on both banners, I think, so.
Easy to acquire.
Yep.
The next unit that I'd probably say is one of the better SR units is definitely Majin Vegeta. Where would you place Majin Vegeta?
As one that I use personally, I'd probably put Majin Vegeta more around high B.
High B, low A tier? Like here, maybe?
Say yeah, because a majority of the URs are going to take like the AS spot. So yeah, I'd say like top B, low A.
Along Majin Vegeta, Jotaro's going there.
I would actually put Jotaro in S.
You would? As of right now?
Yes, that time stop.
Okay, that's it. That's why Jotaro's gonna go up here, guys. It's interchangeable A or S, but Jotaro has the time stop ability, which stops every unit in their path for a total of what, like 5-6 seconds?
It's about 6 seconds, and it has a decently fast cooldown. I think it's 30 seconds.
30-second cooldown, which makes Jotaro one of the best units to have, especially if you're doing infinite load, or if you're just struggling in your main story load and you need the units to just stop. You need Jotaro. Broly's huge on damage, but that's about it.
He's huge on damage, but he costs a lot.
He costs so much that it's like almost you won't be able to get Broly on your team, which is why Broly's just going to stay on the B tier here. Gon. Gon's one of my personal favorites for like the main story mode, which is why I'm actually going to put him above Broly here. He's cheap, he attacks quick, and his range is massive. That's all you need to know about Gon. He's cheap, attack quicks, and he does a good amount of damage with a lot of range. Better than Killua, who has much less range, attacks quicker, but does less damage.
Yep.
Sanji. I think you tried Sanji.
Zoro?
Or Zoro, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I tried him, but I didn't really have so much experience. I'd say he's more like questionable, so if you can just slap him in B. But
I'm gonna slap him high C.
Say yeah, like I feel like I did use him and he sucked, but I can't really remember off the top of my head.
Okay. Another unit that's, once again, Luffy. They just kind of just exist, these two. They're doing One Piece very dirty. They're doing Tokyo Ghoul very dirty. Now, Luffy, I don't know 100%. I think I used him once and that's it. But I still don't remember him being anything special, which is why he's sitting right there. You use Kakashi, though. Where would you rank Kakashi?
Okay, so in terms of story mode, he's decent. I'd say he's B tier. But I didn't max him out, but for what his space stats were, and as I upgraded him about once or twice, it was pretty good. So I'd say like around B tier.
B tier, better than Broly because he's much cheaper to get, but not better than Gon, in my opinion. Pain, another B tier unit. He's like Sakura, like this Blossom right here, except just does more damage, which is why he's better than Sakura, obviously, in ranking. Goku.
How did you feel about him? You used him.
Goku was very good. I almost want to put Goku here in A tier. The only thing that makes him very hard to like max out is that he costs a lot to max out, and then his total max damage is the same as Vegeta, but Vegeta costs less to max out. But Goku has more range.
We deserve a place
I don't care. But ultimately, I think Goku is going to come down to the B range. Vegeta definitely takes Goku over. Even though Goku has a massive amount of range, I still think Vegeta's better than him. Definitely the best like building unit out of all of these, but not as good as Vegeta still. And then to be honest, guys, I didn't test Tanjiro, did you?
Yeah, I did not touch Tanjiro at all.
So we don't know anything about Tanjiro.
Alrighty. The category that we know the most about.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Alright. I'd honestly get... we should get the obvious ones out the way first.
Okay, we didn't get this one. We don't know anything about him. If anyone does, let us know. Goodbye, sorry. Same thing with Susanoo. We don't know anything about Susanoo. Those two units we've tried to hatch for a very long time and we're unable to get them. Now, the UR units.
Let's just get the best one out of the way.
Okay.
Let's stop that Naruto S tier.
Naruto's the best unit that we've encountered out of all these units so far.
Absolutely nuts.
He has an ability that you can use after upgrading him only 4 times. He has a total of like 6 or 7 upgrades. But on the 4th upgrade, Naruto will double your entire team's damage in a certain radius. That is absurd. If you're trying to do an infinite mode with like your LR units, they will be insanely strong, guys. He does a total 26,500 damage maxed out, 85 range, and 5 on like the attack speed. Naruto is absolutely insane. Best UR unit out of all of these.
And to add on to that, the fact that the boost lasts 30 seconds and has an 100-second cooldown is actually mind-blowing. Because by the time from when you use it and ends, and you can place 8 of them, right? It's 8, right?
Correct. So you can have 240 seconds worth of boost running at all times if you have 8 Narutos on the field. That's a lot of boost. Now that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Next unit that I think is very good, probably the second best UR in terms of like air units, is the Dragon Eye. Dragon Eye, I personally really like, and because I personally really like the Dragon Eye, I'm actually going to put them in S tier. Their damage is absurd. I think it's like 34,500 damage. They have 130 range, and they also have a 4-second cooldown. Now, that's not the only reason why they're going to S tier. The reason they're going up to S tier as well is because the Dragon Eye specifically can be upgraded. So if you get enough materials to upgrade Dragon Eye, he will actually have like a new evolved version as opposed to any other of these UR units. I don't think any of these units can evolve except for Dragon Eye.
So yeah.
I see.
Dragon
I see you want to do Goku and Vegeta next. Go ahead and rank them.
I'd say Goku is like a little worse than Dragon Eye, but about, so I'd say like high A. In terms of like air units, yes, Goku is definitely one of the better ones. The stats are like the same. Does more damage, 2 seconds difference in terms of attack speed compared to Dragon Eye, which is the only reason why. It does more damage, but it gets out DPS by Dragon Eye by a tiny bit. But yeah, it's about the same.
And the fact that Dragon Eye can evolve in the future.
Yeah.
Like, so there's that. And then Vegeta, to be honest, here. Goku just out damages Vegeta.
Yeah, and on top of that, Vegeta costs a decent penny.
Absurd amount of money to upgrade Vegeta. Which is why Vegeta goes in the high D tier and not A tier, because like these are good units, A and S tier. Vegeta's okay, you know, like he's good enough.
Yeah. He's alright.
Your favorite unit?
Genos. Okay, so Genos has a very wide cone on top of him doing, like at max is 37,500 every 5 seconds, and he is decently cheap. He costs 27,000 to like fully max out from when you place him, which if you're doing infinite, that's not a lot at all, and you can max one out by maybe wave 6, 7 if you place Bulmas. So it's a really good UR unit for the chances to get one. It's one of my favorite units, also like my best because Toad keeps taking all the LRs.
Would you honestly rank him as an S or an A tier?
I do high A because I want to leave S tier for like, you know, like
our units, our good units.
The really good units, like the must-have units.
Okay. Pink-haired boy, I'm sorry.
He's kind of dog water.
He's just a unit. Same thing with whatever his name is. I keep forgetting his name.
So some people say Giyu's really good. I don't. He might stun. I'm not sure, but from when I used him, he had full AoE, but not that much damage, and he only attacked every 9 seconds.
Which is just not worth it.
Yeah.
Especially if you have all these LR units, he's just unfortunately going to get out-damaged and outclassed, which is why he's going to go into the B tier. High B tier still, but still B tier. Actually better than Pink-haired boy.
Grimjaw.
Grimjaw does a lot of damage. Grimjaw is great. Grimjaw is going to go in the low A tier. That's all I gotta say. He's good, does a lot of damage, and he's like relatively cheap to upgrade. His visual attack looks really cool too. But other than that, he's just a good unit, you know? Nothing too special about him. Next one. Deku. I think we used Deku once, and from using Deku, there was really nothing too special about him. And so, because of that, I'm going to put him around here. We're going to have, like, I want to put him in the unknown, to be honest with you guys. And that's what I'll do. I'll put him in unknown. We don't really know too much about Deku. We used him once. I don't remember there being anything special, because when we were using him, we were trying to focus on the LRs instead. So, Deku, unknown. Sorry. What did you think about him?
Overhaul? Okay. So, him and Giyu are like the same. They both do full AoE. They do have a lot of range, but the only thing, it's like, for you to do 32,000 with full AoE every 8 seconds compared to a lot of the other UR units, which out DPS, same with Giyu, they're both like really low. Yeah, I'd say he's dog water, like low B, like above gun, but
okay.
Thing is, I'm trying to remember because Giyu might stun, but I don't remember.
Right. If Giyu stuns and you guys find out, Giyu's definitely A tier. If Giyu does not stun, he stays B tier here because he's just okay. And then finally, of course, we're up to the LRs, which are absurdly hard to hatch, to summon.
Says you.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I've summoned a ton of LRs, but I've also summoned 5 archers. How do I summon 5 of the same unit? That's not fair. Anyways.
Which one do you want to start with?
I'm going to start with the ones that we don't know.
Unknown. Yeah, get the unknown now.
We don't know what he does, but he's probably going to be really good. And then same thing with Gojo, actually. I'm assuming Gojo's going to have a time stop, and he's easily going to be an S-ranked unit. Same thing with Rengoku. Rengoku's probably going to leave burn on all the units, which is going to be great, but we don't know 100%. So that's why these 2 units are going to go down here. Same thing with Ulquiorra. We don't know anything about him.
Alrighty. Okay. A majority of these are going to go S tier, but it's the matter of which one's better than which. So, like, I'd probably say...
Let's go with the worst one first.
The worst one out of all of these would probably be... I want to pick between Shanks and Boros, because all of these are really good, but in terms of damage...
I think Boros is worse than all of these, to be honest. In terms of damage, Boros is out-damaged by Madara, which makes him worse than Madara, obviously. And then Shanks. Shanks is going to go right above Boros. Why is that?
Stupid good. He stuns with his attacks, and for how fast he attacks and how much damage he does, it's decent.
So
he's
Shanks
lower
stuns.
damage than Boros, but he stuns.
So Boros does like 112,000 damage per hit. Shanks does like 52,000, but he stuns and he attacks like nearly like 1.5 times as fast as Boros does, which makes him better than Boros. More utility, better use, better pizza, better ingredients, Papa Russo, John's. Anyways, Madara is barely better than these 2 units.
It's arguable to an extent because of the fact that Madara can attack air units as well, which makes Madara really good. But Archer's ultimate is really good.
Which means that for our current tier list, which is not 100% accurate, Archer is going to be the best unit that you can currently get. We don't know these 3. These 3 are definitely going to be up there, but in terms of the best unit you can have, Archer is definitely it. And honestly, guys, I think this needs to change right there.
And yeah, that's accurate.
I think this is the best, most accurate thing we can come up for the time being. Like I said, it's only been a few hours since the game has come out. We've tried most of these characters except for really these down here. And we gotta say that Archer, unbeaten. Unbeatable? Is that the word? Unbeatable. Naruto, unbeatable. Bulma is a no-brainer.
They're undisputed. There you go.
These 3 are just the 3 undisputed. If you're gonna have any 3 units on your team, you're gonna want Archer, Naruto, and Bulma.
If you want to, you can push those forward on the tier list. Because damage out of the way, their util is really good. Like, especially that Naruto. Honestly, double damage is huge for any team. So that could be arguably the best unit in the game. Besides
arguably, Naruto's the best because he's easier to get than Archer. And then arguably, Bulma's the best because you can use Bulma in the story modes. So these 3 are the best 3 units you can get. You can maybe even throw Todoroki up there if you really wanted to. I'm not going to, but you could, just because of his stunning ability. But I think that's what we got for now. I am going to save this. I'm going to leave this so you guys can edit this or comment or whatever. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Once we find out more about these bottom units, we'll update this in the future. But yeah, make sure you guys use code sorry for shutdown and gain release. And I'll see you guys later. Reese's Pieces. Bye.